Hey guys, Luna here, and welcome back to Friendsim 2. We just last finished off with Trial 2 with saving our dear good friends. And yeah, we just basically looked through the alerts as well of these guys. But basically, we now have to find out who murdered the third trial murder. So basically, we have to figure out if there was a murder or if there wasn't a murder. So, and I believe from what I did with the first act, because I chose salvation in the last act, because starting with Tesseract. So, because I chose salvation. So I'm going to be trying to go for salvation as well. So, anyways, to investigate the ship thoroughly and talk to everyone who's involved. Honestly, kind of afraid to talk to Gallic at this point, just standing there, staring out the window with his hands behind his back. He turns around, there's a look of intensity in his eyes that you really don't like.
Ah, my alien friend. I trust that your investigation is going well? This has become something of a matter of Imperial security, in case that wasn't already clear.
Smile as winningly as you manage under the circumstances. Sure, things are going great, but it would be pretty helpful if Gallic could just maybe answer a few more questions. His eyes used suspiciously.
I suppose that would be acceptable.
Why would anyone want to kill him?
In my line of work, you make a lot of enemies. Those who want to hurt the Empire, or just those who feel personally wronged by it.
Well, you can maybe understand how some people might feel personally wronged by the Empire. Alec glares at you.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. My point is that the Empire's enemies tend to end up becoming my enemies. I might be a lowly piece in this game, but those even lower down stand to advance their own standing by removing me.
That does sound pretty bad. Has he ever considered maybe leaving? Alec laughs at you.
Oh, that's a good joke. I appreciate the attempt to lighten the situation. I know your alien customs are strange, but you should know as well as anyone that you don't just leave your responsibility to the Empire.
Doesn't he feel bad about any of this?
Why would I feel bad?
Oh, just little things that like almost killing his chemist or innocent legislator.
I suppose. In all honesty, I've learned to separate my personal and professional feelings long ago. Did it break my heart to have to put them on trial? Yes. Was it necessary? Absolutely.
I don't really know where to even start arguing with him on this. Not because any of this is compelling, but because it's so bizarre to your way of thinking that you don't even understand why he's so completely committed to it. Does he have any actual... Alec shakes his head slowly, frowning deeply and looking at the ground.
I wish that I did. Sadly, I could not say as much without lying to you.
Well, surely there's some kind of clue. Someone who was angry at him would want him to get out of the way.
As I said, I truly do not know. I would suggest you investigate the crime scene once more, and speak to the legislators to see if they have any further insight.
There's nothing else in the room to investigate. So observation deck. Back to the observation deck, you hear voices from around the corner. Slowly poking your head in, you notice that Sosa and Tagora are in there talking to each other. You wisely decide not to interrupt their conversation. Not so you can listen in or anything, just to be polite. Yeah, that seems like completely possible thing to believe.
That's why I'm so worried about her. She's always working, and she's always burning the wax light cylinder at both ends all the time. I wish she could take just a few minutes to herself to keep from burning completely out.
Well, your mate spread has a certain determination to her that she just won't let go of.
Tagora sighs and shrugs, looks over at Sosa.
Not the worst problem to have in the grand scheme of things.
What do you mean?
I mean, I've got a cosmesis who's gotten to the point where he genuinely thought that flushing me out an airlock might be a viable solution to his problems. I hope I don't have to tell you how much that hurts, do I?
No, you're right. I just wish that Zizi would be more open.
And I wish that Gallic would stop being such a stupid bastard. Sometimes we get what we want, sometimes we don't.
Sure, you're right.
Elsa head droops, and you can't help but notice that everything about the way she's speaking and carrying herself feels wrong.
I'm going to go lie down for a bit. This has been such a stressful day.
Fine. Suit yourself.
Elsa turns to walk out of the observation deck, and she quickly jumps back at the corridor right before she sees you.
Oh, it's you again.
Without warning, Elsa's hugging you, and there's tears streaming down her face and sobbing quietly.
I'm sorry. I just can't thank you enough for what you did back there. I was so sure I was going to lose Zizi forever.
Aww.
And then, what would I do? I can't go through life without my mate Sprit.
Aww.
It's unthinkable at this point.
It's okay. She quickly lets go and steps back, wiping her eyes frantically. Seeing the expression on her face, you feel an ache growing in her heart. She should never have to experience this kind of pain. She never should be forced to live through some kind of traumatic.
If you see Zizi, can you tell her I'm worried about her? I'll be in our room.
Hey, bye, Sosa. Sosa politely brushes by you and takes off down the corridor. Oh, wait. To the guest room, Sparky, you lean around the corner and see that Tagore is still standing by the window, looking out at the stars.
I know you're there. You might as well come out.
You walk out of the observation deck at the most casual way you can manage. You're definitely just walking by, not sitting there for several minutes and listening in on his conversation with Elsa.
Seems like an awfully specific thing to say. It doesn't matter. There's something I need to ask you. When you said before you could get me away from this place, what did you mean exactly?
About that whole leaving thing. Tagore perks up as soon as you mention it and looks instantly more alert.
I need to know what you mean by this. Are you talking about running off and joining some filthy bunch of rebels in a cave somewhere?
Oh no, there wouldn't be any caves involved in this process. You see, you got the powers of the First Guardian. Well, you did, anyway. Point being, you're sure you can get those powers back, then you can actually warp Tagore and anyone else to another world you've set up in the nice, peaceful alternative to... You gesture around vaguely. Tagore doesn't look convinced.
Okay, so imagine for a second that what you just said doesn't sound like the ramblings of someone who's taken one too many hits to the head. Imagine that I'm interested in what you're saying here. I'm not leaving without Gallic, and he isn't going to come with us unless you give him a really good reason.
Reason like...
You have to convince him that someone's out to kill him.
And that's the salvation where I'm guessing that I have to say that it's a murder. Yeah, about that. You're not entirely sure if that's actually true.
Doesn't matter. If he believes it, the truth is completely irrelevant.
So if the murder is a lie, if it was not actually murder, I have to lie and say it was a murder.
Besides, we'll be living it up in this world you claim you made.
Tagore sighs and shrugs.
Or you're lying, and we'll end up sitting around in a cave playing games with a jade blood and fancy casual wear, and a cerulean with a series of sexual hang-ups involving pirates.
Well, do you think that may be a bit too specific of scenarios? Honestly, it feels a little bit unrealistic. Tagore shrugs again.
Still better than the alternative.
Do you have any idea what really happened?
What makes you think it matters what really happened?
Tagore sighs and leans closer, smiling in a way that makes you feel more than a little bit uneasy.
You remember what I told you about being a showmaster?
Kind of vaguely? Something about trials or something like that? You got the feeling there was some type of like a prosecutor, the person responsible for finding the accused guilty as charged?
No. Well, that's part of it. They're always found guilty. But it's more like being the creative director of the trial. You need to make sure it's a big production. Something that makes it clear that no one can question the system.
Oh, you're starting to understand. The trials as a form of theater, a way to make the Emperor look good.
Yes. But we can use the same energy to convince Gallic it's time to leave. Just put on a good show. Whether it's real or not, that's irrelevant.
So why is he still with Gallic? explain that it doesn't really seem that all that healthy to be with someone just whose track record consists of trying to have him killed with just a little while earlier. You don't know you don't know much about the relationship dynamics, but that seems unhealthy.
Ugh, don't try to lecture me on how to handle my own pitch relationship. You're not much of an auspicious.
Yeah, so that's the club's, the ashen version of the one that he has. Okay, ouch, that stings because you, for one, consider yourself quite an ashen
Please.
expert.
The only thing you need to know is that Gallic and I would both be a lot happier without the pressure of our respective positions in the Empire hanging over our heads. Unfortunately, the only way out of that prior to you showing up would be down. But you're giving us an alternative.
Sigori flashes you a shark-like smile and nods.
Good for you.
Let's see here. So, yes, bridge. Okay, and then I guess to the airlock. You really want to go back into the airlock? The body's still sitting there, and there's still just as much blood as there was before. You've developed a pretty strong stomach over the years, but it's still a lot. But still, something draws you toward the scene of the crime. It's a sense of lingering unease that you've become all too familiar with. The sense that something isn't right here. The sense that you need to look closer.
What are you doing in here?
Tessera basically appears directly behind you, as if she was able to teleport in, or more accurately, you don't notice her walk in because you're too wrapped up in your own thoughts.
You know that something's not right here, don't you? Something doesn't add up.
I mean, yeah, of course not. Things on Altaria, and by extension, the space around Altaria, never seems to quite add up, but you're not sure what to do about that here. Just that Gallic asked you to find out who really did this. Deseret doesn't answer right away.
I think you should take a very close look at everything in here. I think there's a pattern here, and I think you're smart enough to see what it is.
You start to interject that you're not really sure what she's talking about, and that you're very new to this kind of thing, but before you can even finish that sentence, Tezrek interrupts
I'll
you.
be in my room if you need anything. It's been a long day so far. If you see Stealth around, let her know that I need to talk to her.
Well, shit, okay, that's pretty vague, a little bit mysterious, and basically completely non-helpful, but you suppose it wouldn't hurt to take a look, or one more look around that gross blood-filled airlock for old time's sake. Nothing on the right wall. I guess I'll forward to back. Off to one side, there's a toolbox lying open. While the box itself is tethered to a nearby wall, it appears that something might be missing from the box itself. If only you could find out some kind of record that lets you know what was missing. The body is still lying there, basically untouched from the last time you checked in on it. The wound in the throat is looking more and more suspicious. Something about it feels so random. Doesn't seem like it was done deliberately at all, more like the result of something chaotic and unpredictable. You're sure there's clues around here that will make the picture a little bit more clear. Weird, there's blood splattered on the airlock door. That doesn't seem to make any sense for a murder inside an airlock. And the blood running around the floor, it seems to be spread out and just spews out of the spray along the wound. You don't know what any of this means yet, but it seems really important. So maybe they were killed at the airlock and dragged over here, and then that's why the blood is piling up, I guess? I'm pretty sure it's killed here, dragged here. Yes, this. There's a very conspicuous bloody handprint right there on the control panel that operates the airlock. Judging by the blood on the maintenance worker's glove, must have been left by them. So you guess that they didn't die right away then. That's actually pretty disturbing. So maybe they opened up and they escaped. Something about this control panel gives you important vibes, like the key to any number of murder mysteries. Sadly, you have also absolutely no clue how to work any of it. Maybe you should come back later. Maybe someone has some kind of user manual or handy illustrated guidebook on how to use this. I guess cargo bay. And anything else I need to investigate, so just be this. After a little bit of searching, you find a manifest for the contents of the toolbox, and that's in the airlock. You'll be able to compare the manifest to the content of the box, and you'll be able to figure out what's missing. Whether or not it actually means anything. Look, you're working with this one step at a time. So now we need to go back to the airlock and compare that. I guess... let's look at the bloody handprint. Matches the blood found on the hand of Sue itself. Suggests the main tried to put their hands in control. Blood spout leaking away from the body. Not expert, but it looks like it was carried a lot farther in a specific direction than just sprang from the room. There's a bunch of small blood spatters on the airlock, as if some blood was in motion. Some blood in motion that hit the door. It's way too far back to result from the spray from the wound, though. Adjustable wrenches, a variable bit driver, lasering measuring device, permanent markers. So wrenches. There was a blade knife in this, because there's a driver device, measuring permanent markers. But the only thing missing is the blade knife. So I didn't hear that again. Don't under whisper the someone again. Emperor's enemies and leave me many enemies. Lowly piece in the game. The game is referring to the all too real game of espionage. Own standing me. Whether they're fighting against the Emperor itself or attempting to upset the Emperor's control. Okay. And there's more cheater stuff. Relic, rebellion, it's everywhere. Minus it equals everyone. So I'm so worried about. I don't want to involve with anything that can get her hurt. I can't lose her. If you make someone promise, you better be prepared to keep it. Really wish ignorant outsiders would stop pretending to know how cauldrons work. Let's see here. Guess the guest rush block? Open the door to the guest room to see that Telza and Tezric are sitting in, and the first time you see the two of them huddled together, talking in low voices. You really don't want to interrupt, but this feels intimate, but you also don't want to risk the sound of the door breaking the moment, so you kind of just stand there awkwardly and listen.
I don't see why you're acting like this. I almost lost you, Zizi. I can't do that. I can't do this.
It's fine, Stels. Nothing actually happened. I'm fine, and Gallic knows I didn't kill anyone. It's fine.
It's fine now. But what about next time? I keep telling you to stop poking your head up.
So, what? Just smile and nod along? Just hide myself away and... what?
Stay with me.
I'm not going to leave you, Stels. That's crazy.
I don't mean like that. I mean that one day you're going to do something, and I can't live with myself if I let that happen.
Tezra, you can see Tezra reach out and put her hand on the small of Selza's back. Slowly, Tezra leans in and stretches her neck and kisses her mate's brow on the corner of her jaw, right at the base of her neck.
I'm not going to get killed, okay?
Aww.
You don't know that. Everyone says that, but no one knows it for sure.
Shift and lean back, which of course has the side effect of loudly banging into the door, causing both Selza and Tezra to jump.
You
pointing at yourself, me? Tezra glanced.
I need to talk to you. Alone.
Out of the corner and the other side of the now closed door to the rest block, Tezra hauls you a few feet down and starts speaking in a low, urgent whisper.
I need you to listen to me and not interrupt. Do you understand?
You're about to say something when you catch Tezra's look. Instead, you nod silently.
Good. Now look at me. I know you're trying to help, but you need to understand something here. I don't want to leave Alternia.
You stare at her.
I care about these people, and they deserve better than to suffer under the heel of the fucking Empress. How can I do anything about that from another world?
You suppose you hadn't really thought about the implications of what you were proposing. You very wisely decide to keep this pondering to yourself for now.
Truth is, there's a reason I was here. A rebel contact who said that they saw some signs that Gallic's loyalty to the Empire might be wavering. So I was coming here to see what I could find, and then someone dies. And I'm pretty sure it was my contact.
Yeah, that does seem like a bad thing, but does she think that they got killed because they were discovered?
I have no fucking clue. But I do know that there's something else going on here, and you might actually be able to figure out what. Take this.
Reaches out a pocket and pulls out a palm husk, and after a few quick taps on her screen, your own palm husk vibrates softly.
It's the service manual for the airlock controls. Something weird is going on with all that. Check the controls and see if Gallic is willing to give you the access logs. Plus, it probably wouldn't hurt to search Gallic's respite block and office again and see if there's something else you missed before. And be careful.
You think that Tezra is still being a little bit hypocritical given that you just overheard between her and Salsa, but the thing is that you think this and you don't say it out loud like an
Okay,
idiot.
now we're gonna go inside and you're gonna be nice to Stealth and reassure her that everything's fine. Okay?
The way she emphasized the last word, it's pretty clear that it was an optional kind of thing. Salsa smiles at you when you walk in, and you find yourself wishing that you could just talk to your old friends in this situation. That didn't involve little world murder. You feel weird thinking about it, and you kind of miss the old way Tyrion was. It sucked a lot, but there was also a certain kind of regularity to how it sucked. That's completely gone now.
Hello again. I wish that we could have reunited under better circumstances.
Salsa. It's okay, Salsa. Yeah, you too, Salsa. You too. How are things going with Tezra? Tezra shoots you a quick look, but Salsa seems to be ignoring it.
Oh, things have been going quite well. We were both a little worried that Ascension might mean the end of our relationship, but both of us were lucky enough to be assigned to the Justitia.
The what
The
now?
Legiscorpus flagship.
Life isn't so bad up there. We're very busy and don't have much time for reflecting on the unpleasantries of the past.
Which strikes you as singularity odd to put it. Well, anything. You nod along, not exactly what Salsa even means by it. Love the new outfit.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such a nightmare to try and get anything that's not in regulation teal or neutral grey.
But doesn't Altair have rules against wearing the blood color of other castes? You feel like that's kind of the thing you read somewhere, but you're not sure. From the other side, you hear Tezra laugh.
You think there's pink bloods? Like, brilliant hot pink?
Alright, in retrospect, it might not have been a slightly silly thing to ask. Jeez. Any ideas what might have happened?
Oh my goodness, no! That kind of thing is more Zizi's department and not mine. I assume that's what she was talking to you about just now.
Yeah, let's go with that. We were talking about murder forensics or whatever, but it would also be nice to have some fresh perspective. Sasha cocks her head to the side and smiles.
Well, honestly, it seems like it's all just some freak accident.
You stop and stare at her. Is he serious right now? Surely it can't be this oblivious to how urgent things
It
are.
seems to me that there's no actual evidence of a killer or killers, right? So maybe the truth is the simplest explanation, that there was never a killer to begin with.
That is certainly an interesting thing to point out, so I guess let's date bridge, observation cargo. So I need to go back to the airlock eventually, but I'll check in with the office first. Searching the bookshelf, you stumble a set of papers inside a teal folder. At first glance, they look like the same chemist's contract that you saw before, but on close examination, that you notice the document has been modified heavily. The Arterian Kitten is still hanging in there, for better or worse. I don't think there's anything else of substance to be gained from this poster, but maybe you can take a lesson from this cat. No matter how bad things get, it can always get worse. You can always drop to your horror or death on the field of spikes that are surely just out of frame on this poster. Well, that got dark. Shit, all this stress must be getting to you. I guess all that's left is the computer. Sit down in front of the computer and crack your knuckles. Time to some really badass hacking shit. You're just the best at hacking. You can hack things. You know how to use a computer. Well, fuck, you're not really sure how this works. And Gallic never gave you the password. Okay, so we need to go back to the office once we get stuff from Gallic. The chair is sure more tempting now, but you're almost out of here. Surely once you figured out what to do with Gallic and solve this mystery, you'll be able to rest. That seems reasonable, right? Looking up, I wonder how much your course shows out of the generous fondness of the Emperor, and how much was just to show to keep up Galax's appearance as a high blood. I guess it doesn't really matter all that much, but the whole I love the Empress thing is kind of getting old already. And the last thing is this. Looks like that's all here in the same papers that you already found. Those were helpful before, but it feels like you need some new information on this. So I guess we need to go back to the bridge. Back to Gallic. Need access for the cargo airlocks. Explain that you got the real killer lead. Okay, bad phrasing there. But the point is you got a hunch to chase down and you need Gallic's help to do it.
I suppose. What is it that you need from me, exactly?
You need the logs that show who accessed the cargo airlock in the last couple hours. Gallic's expression softens.
Of course. I can send that information to your palm husk right away.
I guess we go to the airlock. Let me investigate this. If you tried to figure out this about the manual, would it surely necessary? Maybe you have to meet death. Armed to the power of the wind word, nothing can stop you. Quickly run through the diagnostic settings until you find the last part of the internal records for the controls. From there, it's just a drag and drop to move the information from your palm husk to review at your leisure. Okay. So I guess we need to... Nothing else. Observation. Here, cargo. Oh, yeah, we need to investigate the computer. It looks like this log out of maintenance staff has been down for this area has been in this area in the last night cycle or so. It doesn't seem like many people come down here. Okay. Anything else in the airlock? Nope. Master ret block. Yeah, I know. I just doing last minute like skimming around, make sure there's guest ret block. Nothing left in here, so oh, there's more in Chitter. Let's see, some people might want to suggest that things are bad here, but I know better. I'm a simple woman. As long as I got my mate spray and a nice workout routine, I'm happy. I guess I have everything? Let's see, contract looks very similar, but Gallic added quite a few handwritten notes. Between two subjects, not only did he think he was too harsh on the original contract, but there's just some flush, mean feelings to Gara. Not sure if you would have used the word validating, mostly because you're not sure what that means, but it feels kind of like valedicting to you. If you remember correctly, the idea of your quadrant being mixed up at all wasn't something that Terry looked kind of on, especially for someone who's not only high blood but a high-level government position. I wonder if Gala kept this a secret. Okay. Let's start the trial, I suppose. You're on your way to the bridge to find Gallic when you hear the familiar sound of Tagore clearing his throat behind you. You turn to see him glaring at you.
Look, if you want to convince Gallic that leaving with you would be a good idea, now's the time to do it. Just make sure he understands that someone's been gunning for him.
That's the thing, you say. You're pretty sure no one wasn't gunning for him. In fact, you're pretty sure that the murder wasn't actually a murder.
Doesn't matter, as long as he believes it. Just put on a good show.
Tell Tagore that you're not sure you can do that or not, but you certainly think that you've been thinking
Well,
of it.
keep thinking about it. Because I have a feeling I know where you're going right now.
Before you can round the corner, you feel a hand on your shoulder. Turning around, you can see Tezra standing there frowning at you.
Hey, we need to talk real quick. If you're going where I think you are. You know that no one was murdered here, right?
Well, you're pretty sure that the dead body down in the airlock. Tezra shakes your head.
You know damn well that they weren't murdered. This could be an opportunity. Don't act like that. You're smarter than you let on. It's a chance to shake Gallic's faith in the system. If you can show him the truth of what happened, and how he was willing to kill to support such a flimsy illusion, maybe not a lot, but it's more than nothing. It'll help.
See, you're not really sure about this. It seems like it's a bit of risk. You wouldn't really necessarily describe yourself as unwilling to take risks, but you feel like you've really been pushing your luck with me.
Stop it. Can you please consider something bigger than yourself for once?
Hey, you think about it, that's all you can promise right now. Alec's still up on the bridge, and when you get there, and you're not sure if you're ready for this, you didn't have a choice the last couple times, but now you're actually going to put your head in the right lion's mouth on it all on your own. That's a thing, right? Putting your head in the lion's mouth? Why would anyone do that?
Is there something I can help you with? I trust your investigation into the murder is proceeding apace.
I wonder if it would be worth pointing out to Gallic that you're not actually kind of an investigator. Probably just complicate things even more. Instead, you nod and clear your throat. Yeah, you figured this out. So I think if I choose this right, okay, so since I chose salvation in the first one, I have to say, I have to lie and say there was a murder for the salvation. Someone is trying to kill you. Yeah, so Gallic's face darkens and he nods.
Of course. I suspected as much all along. Do you know who did it?
Well, the thing about it is there's...
No, never mind. Bring in whoever you need to present your case. It's critical that we get this sorted out right away.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get this all sorted out. This is definitely you're revealing the truth and not engaging in an elaborate ruse that it has decent to high chances of failing. This is gonna go great. Yeah.
I see you finally decided to come to your senses.
Look, you don't actually feel great about this, but if he's sure it's gonna work, then you guess it's worth a shot.
Just be careful. He's still on edge, and if you fuck this up, you might be the one he turns on.
Well, shit, that's not exactly what you're expecting. He took our show.
Welcome back to Alternia. Let the show begin.
Hey, you turn to Gallic and nod. You got proof that not only someone is murdered on the ship, but that they were murdered by someone specifically sent to kill Gallic.
Well, this is certainly disturbing. Not entirely unexpected, but disturbing all the same. While I freely admit that there is definitive evidence that a murder has taken place aboard this ship, I have no idea how they would have committed such an act of brutality. I am still shocked that it took place while I was so close by.
He's all over the place. You need to focus his attention.
Let Tagore know in the simplest way possible way. They have no idea fucking how to
He
do
needs to be sure that someone killed that person, and that they did it in spite of his security measures. Walk him through it. Show how the murderer could have done it.
Well, I admit there's definite evidence of murder taken aboard on the ship. Don't need to press that. No idea how they act brutality. So I need to... I don't think... Yeah. Let's see. I think I need to... First I'm gonna save just so I can just save before this trial, just so I have that. I'm gonna press on this first. But wait, there's things that are a lot more complicated than that. Wait a minute now. Surely the killer got their hands on something particularly deadly, particularly sharp.
My staff are not permitted weapons, and all defensive arms are securely stored away. There's simply nothing the murderer could have used to commit the crime.
Which I know is not true because in the maintenance log, it was the... where was it? Yeah, I mean, obviously I can look. There's the tool manifest.
Take that!
Wait, you got something very important to show him. Something really, really good. The manifest in the cargo bay. The one for the airlock tools.
So what? What does that matter?
Simple, it's the key to all of this.
Objection!
I don't understand why something like that would be important in the grand scheme of things. Surely, you're not going to tell me it matters without providing context.
Which I need to then do the open toolbox. Doesn't matter if the staff don't have weapons because the murder weapon wasn't in the weapon at all. See, it wasn't murder weapon at all. You can see Gallic's face struggle to process information.
Of course. The missing knife that you're showing me. That was the murder weapon all along.
Exactly, the assassin can come in and kill without even needing to bring the weapon with them. Gala looks afraid now, genuinely scared. It's like the whole thing of someone assassinating him is finally catching up to him in a meaningful way.
But why? Who hates me enough to send an assassin after me? Especially such a cunning, elusive one.
He turns and points a finger at Tezra, who's standing
You,
nearby.
Legislacerator, you investigated the crime scene, didn't you?
Sure. I made a brief investigation.
I will require your testimony immediately. If it brings us even a little bit closer to the truth, then it will be worth it.
What I saw was completely inconclusive. Why would any of the Empire's enemies want him dead that badly? I'm simply a humble public servant, after all. I don't know about all of this political intrigue.
She's not going to play along with this easily. After all, she's concerned with things like the truth. Ugh.
Okay, but maybe we can work at that.
Yes. A slice of the truth, but not the whole grub cake, you know?
You sure took away that the silliest expression is really close to the one from Earth that you get its meaning. You're really good at getting things. Pressing the inconclusive. But wait, you know that things are a lot more complicated than that. Is he so sure that you didn't see anything conclusive? Isn't she a trained legislator?
Yes. And that's part of why I know when to not assume more than I know. I won't try to make more out of it than I saw.
Press on why the Emperor's enemies want him dead that badly. Oh, you know things are a lot more complicated. Pretty sure someone wants Gallic dead, someone with the means and resources to come after him.
Oh yeah? Like who?
What if it's probably the
The
rebels?
scattered, disorganized, underfunded rebels? Seriously? You want to maybe think about that one a bit?
What if it was the Empire? Tezra snares her eyes, but she doesn't say anything right away.
No one would want Gallic dead. Not even the Empire. He wasn't doing anything that would make him a target, and you've got no reason to think otherwise.
Press the... press this, 'cause I'm not... But wait, you know things are a lot more complicated than that. Is she though? Is she really? Tezra goes at you.
I'll praise her imperious condescension, and all that.
Make him... Oh yeah, because we saw the... Yeah, because we literally skimmed over this and kind of feels valid. Yeah, because this is the agreement. So yeah, you got this to consider. The thing is, there's a reason the Emperor might want Gallic dead. Tezra still doesn't look happy, but she's staying calm.
Oh? And what's that?
Pull up the Charismist contract on your palm husk and show it around the room. Gallic's eyes grow wide. See, the document clearly shows that Gallic is experiencing a number of conflicting feelings for his chemist. Feelings that verge dangerously into the subversive. Feelings that are almost untrollish nature.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Kind of subversive, borderline, validating feelings that might have a high-ranking Imperial officer something of a target for culling. Not only that, but you think he knew that in his heart.
What makes you say that exactly?
Objection!
This is absurd. I won't stand here and listen to this any longer.
But wait, weren't you just saying things that... You aren't just saying things that are random. You frequently do say things that are random, but you say this one for... What? In this one specific instance, you actually telling the truth, and you can prove it. Let's see here. Let's see here. It was... I'm sassy from what... let's see here. I'm gonna guess it was... Gallic Statesman? Gallic looked around nervously, his eyes flicking around from place to place.
We're almost there. Just need a little push.
Are you finished asking me these ridiculous questions?
Yes, you're done. I can't believe it. I could be attacked at any moment. My Kismesis could be attacked at any moment. My only hope is constant vigilance, of monitoring everyone on my ship.
What are you even supposed to do to convince Gallic of any of this? He's just kind of ranting now. Nothing he's saying is really anything
Don't look
dangerous.
at it like that. This means that he's about to crack. Keep pressing him until you see something you can jump on. You want me to leave? That means he leaves, and that means convincing him it's in his best interest to get the fuck away from the Empire.
I guess just press everything, just to see if there's anything. I press on the first, okay, but is that really it? I'm not really sure anyone wants to say this. Gallic puts his hand on his head in his hands and shakes it slowly.
I'll never be able to predict when or how the Empire will strike.
Chemist can be attacked? Press. Okay, but is that really it? I mean, if he feels strongly about it... Oh, he's not really listening.
What have I done to deserve this?
Constant vigilance, press. Okay, but is it really it?
But no, I can't monitor everything. The whole idea of constant vigilance is a lie.
Gallic doesn't seem to be taking this all
How
out.
does an assassin appear and vanish without a trace like that? There has to be some explanation as to why they weren't found on the ship.
Which, I will have to... see, inner doors closed, pressure equalized, outer doors open, outer doors closed, pressure equalized, inner doors open, outer door, console log, outer doors closed. I'm gonna say it's the access air logs. Yeah, fortunately got one more thing to show.
What
Is
are
that
you
the
getting
weird
at?
error when both of them open? That seems off. Well, he's been focused on the idea the murder had to be committed by someone inside the ship. Well, if the murder had come and gone, then there's ways of doing that, right?
Of course. One of their commandos, perhaps?
Yeah, right. You knew that there was a thing and you're supposed to suggest it. In fact, they probably used their vast knowledge and resources to cover up how they got off the ship.
Objection!
Oh? How do you think they managed to do that? Exactly.
Tanner leans in and whispers,
Listen, you might not have proof of this.
on account of it, it'd be
Yes,
gone.
exactly. Well, you might not have proof, but I think you do have something you can twist around if you present it in the right way.
Which I think it's the error code. Yeah, it's because it's even, yes. You show Gallic the information got from the airlock error log. Of course, you carefully position your thumb on it just so you can't see that pesky incriminating timestamp that matches up with the time step exactly.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this?
Doesn't he get it? You're surprised that someone as smart as Gallic doesn't see a connection right away. Gallic frowns.
Wait a minute. Are you suggesting that perhaps they faked an error in the airlock log to cover their escape?
Oh yeah, sure. That's exactly what he's suggesting. Gallic's face turns down and he puts a hand on his chin.
Indeed. There's only one thing left that puzzles me. Why? Why did they kill this random maintenance worker?
Oh, that one's easy. Wrong place, wrong time. You know how it goes. You're supposed to be doing routine airlock maintenance and then someone pops in, kills you, vanishes into the depths of space. Please don't ask for additional information.
Objection!
You have proof of this? Anything at all?
I want to say Tezra's statement, but don't think that's right because I feel like that's gonna lead to the bad ends. Work order. Logs off from maintenance. Order 8 and then break. When was he? When was he murdered? I mean, I think this, because this says he got resumed working, but he was already dying, wasn't he? That's it. That's all there is to it. No grand reason for murder. It's just because the person happened to be in the airlock at the time when the mysterious assassin, who is definitely real, showed up. Gallic looks around nervously, no longer focusing on the people in the room, but instead out the window into the cold void of space. And for the first time since you showed up here, the anger and suspicion in his face is replaced with fear.
I believe that I owe you an apology, my friend. You went far above and beyond any duty you had to anyone, and in doing so you revealed the truth behind this whole messy business. If there's anything that I can do to repay you, please let me know.
Well, there is one thing. You're not exactly sure how, but you seem to have found yourself in a bit of a situation where you're on the Emperor's call list or something. No big deal, it's whatever, but it'd be nice not to be on there anymore.
I suppose I could do something about that, yes.
He pulls out his palm hooks and makes a few quick notes. After another few seconds, your own palm hooks vibrates quietly.
Were you telling the truth? About being able to get us out of this entire timeline?
Of course, you try not to lie. Well, Takara shoots you a look and smile, and you try not to lie unless you're absolutely necessary.
Very well. I will go make preparations to leave immediately. The idea that my own empire would try to have me killed is disturbing.
Okay, that's awesome, but there's one small problem. You don't exactly have those powers right now. Not this second anymore.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me you can't even get yourself back home, much less the rest of us?
No, you're not saying that at all. It's just you might need a couple more days, nights, cycles, whatever, to get your own shit together.
Fine. We'll both get ready, and then you can pick us up when you can.
As Gallic walks away, Tagore turns to Stella and tears and smiles.
Anyway, it was nice knowing both of you. So long.
Wait a minute! You're not just going to run off like that!
Hmm?
Don't play stupid with me, Tagore Gorjak! I've been covering you on your own paperwork for a peregrine now, and I don't even work in the same department as you. If you don't come back and sort through the rest of your backlog, I'll make sure you aren't capable of walking well enough to leave anywhere with anyone.
Fine. Let me just get my things.
Start to hand him back to the palm husk he gave you before, but Takara shakes his head.
Keep it. I've got a dozen of the damn things as burners. Now let me go. I have a whole skincare routine to get through before I leave.
Before I continue, I kind of want to see the chitter stuff. Recent intelligence suggests that alien invasion is no longer a threat to the Empire. Please update your kill list accordingly. See you back before alien invasion. Alien invasion returning are greatly exaggerated. Guess alien invasion is okay, but I got my eye on you. # loyalty. They tell you that things are normal, that everything's fine, everything's liars. Honestly, Alien Invasion 1 is just the most sensible, intelligent person I know. Glad to know Alien Invasion 1 is the same dumbass they always were. Love that for them. Okay.
I really wish you'd helped me out back there.
Zizi, what are you talking about? Didn't they do a good job finding the truth of what happened?
Cesare sighs and shrugs, and all of a sudden you feel bad for letting her down, but still you did what was right, and you can't feel bad about that.
Sure. The truth. We're going back to the Eustitia now. That's her home ship. You're welcome to come along, at least until you can figure out what's going on with your powers.
You know what? Sure, why not? This has already spiraled out of control in ways that you couldn't possibly imagine, so what's one more turn, one more crazy thing to happen to you? A ship full of Tealbloods? Well, god fucking golly damn, that sounds like nothing at all could go wrong with that. Maybe you meet some of your other friends, Tirana, maybe?
Oh, goodness no! She won't be old enough to go through the ordeals in Ascension yet.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. Still, you're trying to remain optimistic and about all this, and in words of someone who never had anything bad happen to them, what could possibly go wrong? Salvation. packing up and leaving. So as for our journey, we continue volume 2 for the Grave Secrets. So return to the main menu. So with that, we finished with volume 1. And I hope you guys have a good day, night, week, month of your lives. And may the stars forever guide your path, forever might lead you into the future. Bye bye, everybody.